What's up? Welcome to another episode of Ultimate Blerds. It's your boy Recruit Zero.
It's your boy Uncle Charles up in here. Let's go.
And we're here with more hot takes. You know, it's season 3. We're loving it. We loving talking to y'all still, making y'all angry in the comments. I've been reading them. I've been watching y'all. So keep it up because we love the support. Whatever you got to say, positive or negative, we'll take it. But here in this episode, we're talking about the death of the black sitcom. And
what happened?
I mean, we had some classics, and they're just...
We used to have them.
Dust in the wind.
Let's start off with like the shout outs.
For sure.
I'm going to run down a couple, and then if you find some others, you can add them too. Living Single.
Facts.
Family Matters.
Yes.
Fresh Prince.
Yes.
Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
In the House.
Mm-hmm.
Parenthood.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx Show.
Keep hitting them.
Malcolm and Eddie.
Moesha.
Oof.
Girlfriends.
The Parkers.
My personal favorite, Homeboys in Outer Space.
Mercenary Brothers.
We had, and even before that, we had, the Cosby Show.
227. The Jeffersons. Amen. What's happening?
A Different World.
Ooh. Is that sitcom?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. So yeah, we had a wealth of black sitcoms.
Cosby Show.
With a whole bunch of different scenarios, settings, all type of stuff. And now we look, and what do we have? Nothing.
Well, let's not say nothing.
Not nothing.
We have Micah Epps got a show. The Upshaws.
We
got the Upshaws. That's
the
one.
Upshaws, okay.
And I think that's about it.
You have, what's the one with Cedric the Entertainer?
I have no
He's
idea.
on one.
I have no idea.
There's that. We had the run of the Ishes, the Blackish.
I did not watch any of those. I might not even count them on the list.
They held us down.
Ish.
Okay. So let's get into what happened, because we went from a wide range across multiple networks to now barely anything. And it's a glaring hole in the TV landscape to me, personally.
I have my own theory about what happened to it.
Okay, go ahead.
The real world.
You think the reality show just killed it?
I think reality, from just a casual person who was watching TV.
Yeah.
As soon as like reality TV and like reality game shows came out, you started seeing less and less scripted television.
Well, yeah, that's facts. Definitely in general across the board, because the strike happened and they were like, hey, we could still have TV without paying writers.
And it's cheaper to not film in front of a studio audience.
Right.
All I need is a bottle of vodka or tequila, 5 people, a house, 5 people with various like maybe mental challenges. And I take away, and I take away like the stuff that like keeps everyone like functioning, and I just feed you alcohol and each other and drama. And drama. And I don't need to write anything.
That's true. That definitely, the strike, I don't remember what year that was, but the writer's strike plus the rise of reality TV shows definitely impacted writing, sitcoms and everything across the board. So 100%, like they say, when white society has a sniffle, black people have the flu. Yeah. So that, I'm sure, has impacted the black, cornucopia of content.
It was in April of 93.
Okay, so 93.
It was 14 days, and then in 94 it was 5 days.
Okay. So we had the strikes. I'm sure, as we know, with even recent things, the black content gets on the chopping block early. So that impacted, but I feel like there's some more things. Like when we had, if you're old enough, UPN was the place to be.
Yeah, everybody
for black
was on
content. When we had UPN and WB merge into the CW, that was a decimation.
That's what it was.
That was a decimation of
business. Always.
Like overnight, all them black shows were gone in favor of One Tree Hill and Seventh Heaven.
I don't want to wait.
Exactly. So that was a major hit. But even with that, it's like what? Dawson. Why did they discount the black audience so heavily when it clearly was a viable audience segment for so many years?
The same way they discount us in gaming and other spaces, right? They don't think we're most people. I always lean on this story, and I've told it many, many times. I'll tell it again for this episode of talking with someone who ran a video game, a very prominent development studio. And they were just basically like, we don't know how to market to black people. And we don't understand how to find the value in that in less of a way. And it was less, I took it less as someone being like racist. Right. It wasn't more of like really just being
honest.
Yeah, but also clueless and not being tapped in. Now, someone could point to systematic racism and other things for that, but that's a show for another time. But I think it's the same thing. I think people look at Black Panther. Right. Look at all the black movies that we've had that we've supported and gone out and, we've made sure that we supported them and they grew to be very popular.
And that we knew it hit.
And then we knew it would hit.
It was a surprise to everyone else.
And then Black Panther comes out. It's oh my God. Right. And so, you have this situation where in the 90s, I mean, think about it. How are they checking demographics like that? I guess Nielsen's ratings.
Yeah.
Surveys. Yeah. And so you only had so many shows. And so when you're thinking, if you're talking about business, like, what are we going to cut first? Well, we'll cut this. Because I don't even know if it's getting all the marketing, quote unquote, marketing dollars that these other shows are getting. Like, yeah, well, Living Single's cool. It's the foundation of Friends. But an executive who's sitting in the room and saying, well, what am I cutting? Living Single or Friends?
Right. And side note, if you don't know that Friends is a copy of Living Single, do the knowledge. Because it is, 100%. So we're not just making that up for the show. Yeah. It's a copy of Living Single. Go watch Living Single. And wonder why there's barely any black people in Manhattan in Friends. It's weird. But yeah.
And then you also have to think about like who was in power at the time. Like when you think about the shows that I listed, even... we'll take something like The Parenthood. Because, I'll give him his props for Parenthood.
Shout out Robert Townsend. Yeah. Even though he don't like Meteor Man. Shout out Robert Townsend.
Watch that take about Meteor Man. But I'm saying it took him in all the movies that he's done. And he still, was fighting to have like Faison Love on there and having other people there. And even Eddie. When they made Boomerang, I know we're talking about sitcoms, but I think the two kind of always blend together. How much fighting you have to do at these stations to get a show on the air. And usually in every show I listed, outside of like Family Matters, there was already a person that was famous, that was the draw. Like Living Single, it was like Queen Latifah.
Right, for sure.
And Kim Fields, right? So like you already had a known. Family Matters, I feel like was one of the ones that was like an outlier, but like Fresh Prince had, Will Smith, Martin.
Family Matters was, as much as people probably don't know this, was a spinoff of another show.
Yeah.
So.
And so you Jamie Foxx, it's Jamie Foxx. Right. So you look at like how much it took just to get that show on air. And you're talking about a time where I also, and this is just a personal feeling, I don't know if this is true, where we started to get more into the movie space and we started leaving TV a little bit alone. I don't know why, because I'm not a TV exec.
Right.
But when you think about like the 2000s, right, the late 90s and the 2000s, the Two Can Play That Game and the Wood and the Brothers and
there were a lot of hitters.
Yeah, like you started getting heavy hitters in the movie space, and it seemed like TV was drying up. So we just kind of moved over to this area. And as a medium, we just lost the talent of the writers and producing a show and having that comedy in there. And so, you start seeing it with like Insecure.
Yeah.
But we're on HBO.
Right.
Not and so that's such a specialized space to be in. And I'm sure she probably went through hell to just get that show going, right? Sure. And shoot, outside of The Wire, I'm trying to think of something that came before Insecure that spoke to us, that was on like premium television.
I think The Wire probably was,
and that wasn't a sitcom. That was a drama, right? Insecure was more like
probably it, because the dramas that hit early on HBO and stuff were like The Sopranos, and stuff like that. It wasn't. Really
we didn't have anything, and so
we had some characters. Like we had core black characters in like Oz, but it wasn't a black show.
Yeah.
So.
And so, part of it is also just viewing habits of people, right? We change, we stop wanting that. I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's weird watching sitcoms now.
Yeah.
In a way of like, it's like watching a play, and because television has evolved and transformed in storytelling and how it goes, it's kind of sometimes hard to go back to in front of a live studio audience. And I think you see that with like the Upshaws, right? Of trying to find that balance in that medium,
right?
Because it's like, okay, it's not exactly a studio audience, and we don't really need a laugh track anymore. We don't need people laughing, but we do need something that fills that space.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that black sitcom didn't resurge, because one of the longest running shows is The Big Bang Theory, and that's a sitcom with a laugh track. Which, I mean, personally, I don't like the show. And I think the laugh track drives the show more than the acting.
Yeah,
because if you ever watched a clip of The Big Bang Theory without the laugh track, you will not laugh for a whole entire episode.
I've only watched like an episode or so.
Yeah,
or two. But they got a spinoff, right?
Yeah, Young Sheldon.
Yeah,
which I don't know how that one's doing. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely interesting that it never went back to that heyday, like that golden age of black sitcoms.
I think also, have we found a way to make sitcoms, or find a way to make a sitcom fit in today's lens?
I mean, you got Blackish and stuff. Those are sitcoms. All the Kenya Barris shows, those are sitcoms. And
I'm going to close my eyes now.
As much as people's opinions differ on them, those are sitcoms that have fit into the current model, and Kenya Barris has made a career off of it. I don't watch them, but I mean,
I'm rooting for everybody black. Here's what's interesting about the old shows, though, and this is why I'm saying, like, it's part of what some of the issue is like those shows are giving you like messages and life lessons, right? Like all of them in some way. It was gangs, or dealing with a significant other, being true to yourself, or like they always had these messages in there. I don't know if we're in a space anymore where people want to learn lessons, which sounds crazy, right? But like, you remember like sitting down. I think America has changed too, right? Like again, going back to our viewing habits. For example, you used to sit down with your parents to watch these shows at 8, Friday at 8, right? To your point that we always come back to in this show about, binge watching versus a serial show that has a time slot on a weekday at this time, right? And you go and you watch those shows. Like every show I listed, I watched with my parents.
Right.
Partly just because I was kind of young and they were allowing me to watch it. But the other part was like, that's what we did. Like we all got around the TV and we watched this show. And sometimes I can hear my dad's voice giving me like little life lessons as I was watching the show, right? And that was a part of it. But also every show that we've talked about tackle blackness from a different lens. Right? Why Martin might be a little more raw, Fresh Prince might be a little more chill, right? And like in talking about different things, Living Single was more of like a lens of what it's like, being living single, like it so says, right? But it was from this viewpoint that was going to have a totally different viewpoint than Family Matters. And what was cool was like, you could see yourself in every one of them, and you could also see your friends in every one of them. And where I have an issue now is it seems like the focus isn't on us. The focus is on being like cool for white people's entertainment.
I mean, yeah, I think part of that too is the consolidation of media and how most companies now are focused on like the 4-quadrant demographic appeal. So they don't want to get too narrow because they're like, oh, that'll constrict who we can sell ads to.
Yeah, but that's what made these shows great, right? Like that's what made the Cosbys was a show was like a specific slice of life. Right? That was like you either aspired to be or just hated and you just wanted but for us as a community, like there was something in that, there was something in a different world that was like, it is for us. And you can have the conversations about us, take FUBU for us, by us, with all of these shows, right?
For sure.
And what I find now in most shows is instead of like focusing on us, we focus on explaining our culture to other people.
That's true. That's true. I think a very timely example is, I don't know if you watched it, but the new executive produced Keke Palmer show, Southern Fried Rice.
No.
She just came out with, and it's about an Asian woman going to an HBCU, and it has ignited a firestorm online because it's like, why it's explaining our culture through the lens of somebody else to a different audience.
I can't talk about something I haven't seen, but I can talk about like things that I have seen, right? And it's we found that like explaining things to people has made money. And in a world where everyone kind of follows the trend, everyone's just hopping on the trend.
Yeah.
So if you make a show that's Black-ish, right? Well, all right. Well, we ain't got to go full tilt. We can just, and that's what I found a problem with a lot of shows when it's like a Black show. It's the dap does not need to be explained, right? If I made a sitcom, right?
Yeah.
And the premise of one episode was I fumbled a dap, and you got the tips, right? We've all been there as Black men where you mess up the dap, you misread, you went in for the business handshake, he went in for the dap, and he grabbed the tips.
Not the tips, yo.
And the tips of your finger, if you're listening, you know when you mess up a dap and they grab the tips of your fingers and you just sit there
and look at each other.
I hate to curse. But this might be the only time I'm here. So I'm sorry, just beat me out. But you be feeling like a bitch. Cause he got the tips. And you spend your entire time, right? I'm explaining it and we're all laughing because we know, right? And I think what would be funny is if we just wrote it from, you just got to know about the dap, and you got to know what it feels like to mess up the dap, right? And then like the rest of the episode would be like, how do I spin back around to recruit zero to fix the dap? Right? And how do you feel because I messed up the dap? Like we laughing. But if I stop mid-show and say the dap was created right back, in Vietnam for Black.
Like archival footage.
Like, why am I explaining this?
That's true. Can't bring everybody to the cookout.
No. And it's not. And in some ways, it's a gatekeeping thing, but it's also just the thing of like, we've done so much in this time period.
Yeah.
We've done so much for others that I would love a show that just does for us. I think that's why Insecure was so caught on so much, because she was not explaining anything.
Right.
You either was on it or not. And it was a show that as you watched, as you got older, had layers to it. So someone who was 30 or when we were in our 20s watching it was feeling one way. You start watching it in your 30s, you're like, hey, they need therapy, right? But therapy ain't happening in a Black household, and this, that, and the third. And so you're having these conversations, right? And you gotta have like the writers in the room to feel that way. I think and yes, I get it. It's a balance, right? Because when you're talking about sitcoms, you're talking about, and I think this goes to your point, right? You're trying to cater to those 4 quadrants. Back in the 90s. All we were trying to do was just cater for us. Like when you listen to like any like documentary, like a Blacklist or anything like that, their sole focus was putting us on stage and telling our story to our audience and to everyone else be damned.
Yeah.
If you got it, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. You could still watch. It's not like hey, you're not black. You can't watch this. You can watch whatever you want to watch. It's just we're not hand-holding you through every piece of slang, every joke. And I'm not gonna water down the joke just to get mass, you know what I'm saying, for mainstream appeal.
I think the interesting part that probably lends itself to the current situation is that, like you said, the original golden age was like, we got in the doors and got things made. Now the market has realized the value of Black attention, but still wants the control.
Yeah.
Creative control. So I was like, oh, we'll take your idea, but we're going to sprinkle this in it so that we still make our money. But through that, you're diluting the story and the ideas behind it. Yeah. Issa, 1,000% props to her because she was able to retain that grip on her story and give us the gem that was Insecure. But everybody don't have that control and power.
It goes the same way for, our white brothers and sisters in their shows. I didn't know anything about Frasier. I know people say it's hilarious, but there was nothing about or Friends or Seinfeld. And I'm not saying like they weren't funny. I'm just saying you just had to be in the culture, whatever that culture was for sitcoms back then, to get why these things were funny.
True.
Right? Like if I don't again, I go back to the dap. If you're just not in the culture and don't understand the dap, it's not funny to you.
Right.
And so now what I feel like what's happened is, using the dap example, in a sitcom now, it's instead of us just doing the dap, me messing it up, now there's someone else in the show who don't look like us, and you spend half the episode or spending time explaining, and now we watch it from his viewpoint of like what's going on with the dap, instead of it being my viewpoint or your viewpoint or our viewpoint together. It's now this person watching us like this is
why recruits their own Uncle Charles acting so weird in the office today.
It's like and it's never focused on me anymore. Now they're just, now it's like you're watching us like the crocodile. I can't remember what Black comedy I watched not too long ago. And it was just this situation of they were explaining the way the jokes were being told. I was like, I can tell you're telling the jokes for mass appeal. And you're watering it down and you're making it wide. It's why, my gripes with some of the stuff in Sinners, I thought the music scene was so powerful. Because I was like, yo, that's us.
Right.
Like, that's like, there was some explaining, but everything that was going on in that juke joint, I was like, like this is, I feel like, and I think that's part of like what we miss in sitcoms is seeing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's not a nerd, right? Everyone's not a street dude. Everyone's not a business dude. But you were able to see your community. And now I feel, as someone who grew up in the burbs, I'm sometimes as if like, this isn't even the reputation of the burbs that I want. It's like, oh, you grew up in the burbs, you were listening to all the rock and yada 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 and doing all this, and it makes it kind of like more white leaning. And I'm like, my dad's from Chicago, he took a chance in business and has done well, and here we are, right? So I'm still listening to 3 6 Mafia, Project Pat. I'm still listening to 8 Ball MJG. Like, I'm listening to Outkast. Like, I got friends who are here, there, and everywhere. Like, I just live in the burbs. I don't have like, there's not
you listening to Nirvana only.
It's not like all of a sudden I'm devoid of, and I really do feel like the sitcoms of then understood that, which is why, I take Will Smith. As he lived in, in Bel Air, right? He softened certain edges, but he was still a well-rounded individual. He's still the dude who had the autobiography of Malcolm X, right? And even Carlton had moments of his blackness shining through. I think about when he was pledging the fake cues or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, why you hold me back, brother? Like I've been doing everything else." And he was like, "We don't want nobody like you up in here and gamma." And he was like, "Bro, I'm a gamma man, just like like." But that's what I'm saying. Like we don't even get that anymore. Now it would be Carlton just has no like tie into anything too black.
Right.
He would kind of know it. And I just really hate that. I mean, I know I've been on my soapbox for a minute, but
have you watched the remake?
No. It wasn't even funny. Like the whole point was to be funny. Like I don't want to dramatic. Like, okay, I have this thing about seeing something too many times, and I don't need another dramatic tale. Like everyone's trying to be so dramatic. You know, sometimes they're like Batman's too dark, and like every Batman can't be like. There was Adam West Batman, doing this. Fresh Prince was a funny show. Like it had serious topics. Like I don't need.
But it wasn't a drama.
Yeah, I don't want a full drama.
Yeah,
I heard it's good.
Yeah. I watched a few episodes, but I was the same. It was like, we got plenty dramas. Yeah. Just sprinkling some comedy and dramas is not enough. Sometimes I want the funniness.
Yeah, and I get it. I think, you can correct me. I think part of the thing was him fitting into the upper crust Jack and Jills of the world. Sure. And, it was a conversation, I guess, of black. Again, like this, I haven't watched the show, but I saw enough in the surrounding to kind of understand that it was like, how does this man, this young man, assimilate in a world, keep true to himself, but now he's in this like talented 10th realm, right?
Right.
Which I guess, is black as hell, because that is a conversation that we do have, right? It was just, I just didn't want to watch a drama. I thought the thing that led up to the show being made was cool.
Yeah.
But again, I'll even go back to my point. Like, look what it takes for that to get made. It took Will Smith. Only after Will Smith has been like the most successful actor on planet Earth. Yeah. Right? And has enough juice that he has his own production agency and he could pick up the phone and say, I want this made. Yeah. You wasn't getting made without that.
Right. It just been a cool fan trailer.
Yeah, and to your point, we don't have a space anymore. When you were talking about like that UPN and WB, like where's our station that we could go to? Tubi?
BT?
Maybe. No, but I mean
BT
like
Plus.
Maybe, but they're not even doing sitcoms. They're doing like
that's true.
People's a certain style of show.
Yeah,
let's put it like that.
That's true.
And so, like, where's this? Again, that's why I keep harping on the Upshaw. So that's the last thing I seen that was like a comedy. Can we just go back to Kiki's show? Because I want you just to explain it to me. Because I'm kind of curious. So, an Asian woman goes to an HBCU.
So it's a Korean girl. She was adopted as a baby by a black family, a black military family that was stationed in Korea. They come back to Georgia, where they're from, and she grows up as an Asian girl in a black family in Georgia. So her whole family black. Then, when she's 18, she applies at HBCU and gets in and ends up going to the HBCU. Her best friend, who's also very smart, becomes pregnant and ends up not going.
This is a drama or a sitcom?
It's like
a
dramedy web series. It's like 7 episodes, 12 minutes apiece.
Oh, it's like some
It's a web series.
Quibi?
Yeah, but it's on Kiki Palmer's like.
So who
YouTube
wrote it?
Show.
Like a Korean,
like a Dominican and black mixed lady.
The reason I ask is because one of my favorite sitcoms that's lately is Kim's Convenience. I watch Kim's Convenience at least. I watched it a couple years ago, but I'll come back around to it, right? To me, it felt like Kim's Convenience was written for a specific group of people, like for Koreans in Canada. And I sat here not knowing everything about their culture, but they weren't explaining it to me. Right. They were just living their life.
And you were getting it.
And I was getting it, and I was laughing at the stuff that the father was doing, because he was just being like a typical father in a sitcom. He's just Korean. And so it was just funny watching this dude who had lived in Korea, fought in Korea, have this convenience store, and him just kind of living life in a way that, to me, I can't. Now, again, I don't know, but it felt pretty authentic in the way it was being portrayed, right? And they weren't explaining anything to me.
And that's good writing.
It's good. Yeah, you get good writing. I just, when you're telling me this story, I'm like, is there like some Korean woman or man who had this experience who was writing this?
No.
Or we're just writing a story about, and that's what is that what the uproar is?
The uproar is about a lot of different elements.
Well, give me something, because this is kind of interesting.
It's why is a Asian woman being centered in literally every other character in the show is black, and they're wondering, why are you centering an Asian woman in this situation when there was ways to tell the integrated story of Asians and black communities and stuff like that, but it's like solely this. And
so
she's not well written, and there's a lot of stereotypes.
So stereotypes like what? Give me one.
Like the main antagonist character is a dark-skinned, plus-size black woman.
Since you got your degree,
it's like,
and you know everything.
It's like not is very.
I need to watch this.
No nuance.
I need to watch this now.
Yeah, watch that. We might come back to that later.
Yeah, we need to come back to that, because that's what did she said about it?
The writer?
No, Kiki.
Kiki said you should support this show because it's a black production, pretty much guilting people into you should watch it because it's black.
Now I have to watch it. Where can I watch this? Is it for free?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube. I have YouTube Prime.
Kiki Palmer's YouTube channel.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so we got.
I gotta look this up live on air. What's it called?
It's called Southern Fried Rice.
Southern Fried. Oh, Kiki Palmer.
So yeah, with that, I mean, we went on a little tangent, but the death of the black sitcom definitely is a huge hole in the entertainment space. I think we can agree on. And on top of that, I think there's a lot of opportunity for that, especially where Insecure has blazed a huge lane for that with the success of Issa Rae and all of that. So we definitely should see more, but there's a lot of factors that's going into it not happening currently. Would you say?
I would, and this is very interesting. I'm watching this live as we record this. This is very interesting. Is this Wendell Pierce as the... No, it's just dark and the lighting is bad. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. We'll come back to that in another episode.
Wow.
But yeah, so, I mean, I feel like we could definitely do well with a lot more black creators getting a chance to shine and really show all the stories that's in our community. And of course, it can include other people, but having us centered says something and tells important stories that we need.
It does. And don't be scared to tell the story that you want to tell about us. Right. We've always shown that we support our own when it's good and it's our story.
Right.
Even if we disagree, we're still going to pull up. Right. Like, bet on black.
Exactly. And sometimes that might mean you got to turn down a deal to really retain the integrity of your idea. Like, I mean, I'm sure Issa Rae's had to do that. Michaela Cole, she had to do that when she was doing chewing gum. So, I mean, sometimes you got to sit back, do something at a different scale for that real come up to really be able to retain the stories how you want to tell it. So
there are writers out here who are amazing.
Right.
Tap into them and help them. I think sometimes we always think our idea is the best idea, but a lot of times your idea probably has some gaping holes in it, and you need those people around you who care about you and care about the thing to show up for it, right? And so, you know, it's time to bring nuance back to our our shows, it's time to bring love and care and not chasing a damn bag.
Right.
It's all right. It's all right to gatekeep a few things. It's all right to make something that is just within us that tackles these things.
Right.
Someone needs to make a sitcom about the dangers of social media.
Right. And then think about it. Black culture is one of the most powerful cultures globally. So, like, telling the story is important, and don't dumb it down. Like,
exactly.
People will take it. We got the juice. So that's it. The death of the black sitcom. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your favorite black sitcom from the golden era of black sitcoms was in the comments. Let us know. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.